Hello.
Right now. Hey, Devin. This is how we start the pod. Is that how we do it now? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Hello.
to a brand new episode of On It. We're here. You got me. You got Devin. And I guess this is the first. This isn't the first NFL offseason episode, but it's almost
First,
gonna be treated like one
this is the first after this season. Yeah.
because, well, I mean, the season technically isn't over yet.
It's over.
I mean, it's not over. We don't. We
No
don't.
one gives two flying fucks about this fucking Super Bowl.
I mean, okay. Here's the thing. I've been thinking about it. It's like, am I disappointed in the outcome of the teams playing in the Super Bowl? Sure,
Very much.
but I'm watching the Super Bowl. I'm watching
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. I'm anticipating the Super Bowl. There's somebody. There's a now. Could I easily say I don't want either of these teams to win? Sure, but I want one team to lose a little bit more than I want another team to lose.
The
So
Chiefs.
exactly. So like I have somewhat of a dog in this fight.
Maybe that should just be my thing. I root for the Niners.
Yeah, I mean,
I've also I think like you said, maybe it was off the podcast, but I'm there to watch the commercials, which I've never really done.
yeah, this is the first Super Bowl that I might be more interested in the commercials than the actual
Halftime.
game.
We get to watch this like a never
What? Like a what?
like a non-sports watcher.
Yeah, I get to watch the Super Bowl like it's my first time watching football because I don't
Yeah.
care what happens in this game.
Yeah. No.
The game, I'm not. I mean, I am looking forward to it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna predict it next episode. I mean, I do have some questions, some things to talk about, but let's talk about some
Super
stuff.
Bowl to me always feels separate from this like the season, you know.
Well, what do you I mean? What do you mean by
And like, well, because the Super Bowl is an event
that? Okay,
that football is played at, you know.
no,
Yeah, like a football game,
no.
like an AFC Championship game to me is more
No,
of
the
like
Pro Bowl is an event.
no. The Super Bowl is an event,
No.
and the Super Bowl is an event to bring in more viewers than a regular football game would.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
Like
But
I bet the Super Bowl brings in fucking 10 times what the AFC Championship did,
for sure, even
maybe
though the
more.
AFC Championship, this was the most watched AFC Championship of all time. Which
Maybe Swift's hand was in that.
so hey, but I will say that I mean we're definitely upset with the like I said the matchup, but it's still the Super Bowl. It's still gonna be either way. Whoever wins, we're gonna have to hear about some bullshit. We're gonna hear about some bullshit. Let's talk about other bullshit though, or not bullshit, depending on how you feel. So I mean, first thing I want to get into, some head coaching moves.
Yeah,
Devin, you got a head coach. You
yeah.
you you got a head coach. Washington Commanders Dan Quinn acquired Dan Quinn as their head coach. How do you feel about that?
To me, it's a lateral move, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like, you're taking out a guy who was put into the worst possible scenario in not having a quarterback, having the worst owner possible, having a shitty team with stars on it that you can't do anything with, who's a defensive mind, who built a decent defense, and then you bring in a guy who'd also been to a Super Bowl, also lost a Super Bowl in worse fashion than Ron Rivera did, who's a defensive mind, who is sort of middle of the pack in terms of coaches. And to me, it's not a step up. It's just getting another fucking Rivera. Like, Rivera was a good move when we were in the situation we were in. Dan Quinn could have been an option then. To have him as an option now when we're trying to change an organization, I would have taken Vrabel any day of the week over Quinn. Vrabel would have been fucking so nice. I know Bill's a shot in the park, but Vrabel would have been incredible.
Oh man. Yeah.
Vrabel's like more of a leader to me than a Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is I don't know. He seems to push a lot of blame I'm not a big fan, but
I mean,
it's a move.
if you
It's
had to,
better than nothing.
if you had to like, I mean, a scale from 1 to 10 on like impact, like, so if it's lateral, what is it, like a 5?
Yeah.
Like it's not. I mean, would you take him over Ron Rivera?
To me, it's like the same thing. Like I didn't hate Rivera. Rivera wasn't the reason we sucked.
No, but
Rivera took the blame because he's the head coach, so he takes the shit. That's all it is.
yeah, but I mean, who? I mean, yeah, but the team isn't that good.
You know, the team sucks, so Rivera has to go. But if we're gonna make a head coaching change, make one that's impactful, and rather than bringing on a Dan Quinn, I think our team would have rallied around a Bieniemy move more than a Dan Quinn move.
Yeah,
Ten.
yeah. That I mean that's also not an awful move. I
I
mean,
mean, Bieniemy wasn't even in a conversation for a head coaching job.
y'all could have got Macdonald. Y'all could have got Mike.
Yeah, I'm fine with him going to Seattle. I think it's a better spot
Can
for
we
him
talk about that?
because he'll like. I mean, if I was Mike Macdonald, that's the best possible place you can go and be a head coach. You've still got Pete Carroll in the office.
Okay,
Pete Carroll's still there. He's probably still running the team. It's a great move for him.
let me talk about
Great
that.
move for Seattle.
Let me talk about that.
Sucked for you.
Let me talk about that from the point of view of a Ravens fan. I don't care.
Sure.
I don't care. Like you say it sucks. I don't care. Because at the end of the
Agreed.
day, look, and we'll talk about it. I think there's some players that are going to walk. I think we'll lose some players.
Yeah.
And I'm going to what? Immediately assume that this will be the year the Ravens will not be able to find a single pass rusher, another linebacker to play next to Roquan, I mean any other DB to step up. Not saying we're
Yeah.
signing bums. Obviously, you can sign anybody, but I'm saying the Ravens know. I mean, I like to say they know how to cover up tight ends and running backs, but it seems
And
like
they definitely know how to cover up a DC position.
they can cover up any defensive position.
Sure. For sure.
Because at the end of the
But
day, he didn't coach Kyle Hamilton to be as versatile as Kyle Hamilton is. He's not going to be able to coach how impactful Roquan Smith is going to be on another linebacker playing next to him. That's stuff that you're not going to be able to coach. So I don't really care.
and I mean, Greg Roman produced an MVP season out of Lamar. So did Todd Monken.
Bro, he can
Like, it's not on these guys.
he can walk. I
Yeah,
don't care.
I
I
agree.
really I'm not worried about it. He like I don't and I don't care what he really does in Seattle. I don't really have a take at all for the Seahawks. At I mean
I think it's a great move for the Seahawks. But
I don't think they're doing much with what they have next season and with whatever they will have left next season. I'm not gonna.
no,
I mean, I'm not.
like for me, it's like maybe they're trying to revive Seattle's defense, because their offense has been better than their defense for the past couple of
Yes,
years.
but those you don't have. They're not us. They don't have those pieces the Ravens have unless he goes and signs Patrick Queen and Matabike and makes a
I was
little squad
thinking
over
about
there. But
going there.
I don't know, but I don't know.
But Queen's allegiance isn't to no one's allegiance is to Mike Macdonald. He was there for 2 years.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not worried that he is leaving the Ravens. We've been known for our defense since the creation of our franchise. I
your first fucking draft pick was the greatest defensive player of all time.
actually our first, well, sure.
Second,
Yeah. Let's say yeah.
your first was
Look it up.
Ogden.
Look it up. I shouldn't be telling you this stuff.
No,
Yes. But
I was
Zach,
right.
no, I said yes. I said yes, but I don't. I said yeah, but I don't.
Well, Ray was also a first rounder, so
Yeah,
that's
he
where
was the second first round pick, but
like Lamar was
and
behind Hayden Hurst.
bro, Zach Orr is our defensive coordinator now. You didn't know that, did you?
Zach Orr?
Zachary Orr, the defensive, or not defense, excuse me, the linebacker coach for the Ravens, former linebacker for the Ravens. I don't know if you, I mean, he played, I'd say, like, okay, remember, okay, I'll tell you the
No, Michael Orr,
here,
is he related?
no, ORR.
Oh,
I'll give you a time.
30?
Here, I'm gonna tell you when he played. You ready? Remember
Yeah.
when Antonio Brown extended for that touchdown versus us?
Mm-hmm.
That era of the Ravens.
Really?
That's when he played. So like 2015, 2016-ish times. Um, which I mean, he was cool. He was one of those guys that came to the Ravens and we were able to make it. He was able to produce, a good season or two.
He had a forced retirement because of a spinal condition.
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah, he's super young, but I mean,
He's got to be the youngest. He's 31.
he's familiar with the Ravens program. He's familiar with how we get down. He's the new defensive coordinator. I'm excited. I'm not pissed that Mike's gone. I don't really
Hey,
care.
PQ seems to like the move.
Yeah. You said who?
Patrick Queen.
Okay. Speaking of Patrick Queen, I was thinking about that because Patrick Queen Patrick Queen said that he was going to do what's best for his family.
All right, he's going for money.
Okay.
It's exactly what Tyreek did. He
That's
left for money and didn't go to New York because they have higher taxes than Florida.
He said he wants to be a Raven, but he's going to do what was it? He wants to be a Raven, but he's going to
So
do
unless they pay him $25 million a year, he's leaving.
Yeah, and we're just not doing that.
So Queen's walking.
And he also vouched for Mike to leave and get a head coach job. Which, if you were staying in Baltimore and maybe wanted him to stay as your defensive coordinator, you might not voice your opinion that loudly, but he did. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to go back and look. I'm sure this isn't the first time a linebacker said, yeah, our defensive coordinator should go be a head coach. But it just seems like that on top of like, I'm doing what's best for my family. It's like, yeah, bro's out of here. But I'm confident you can put any athletic young guy with some type of potential next to some guy like a guy like Roquan next to him.
Mm-hmm.
He'll learn. He'll pick it up. We'll be all right. We filled that defensive coordinator spot real quick, and we move right. We move right on. Right. We easy day. We just promoted somebody. If anybody, we're looking for a linebacker coach. If anything, we're looking for a linebacker coach right now.
Sure.
Who wants to be the linebacker coach? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, who the fuck was Mike Macdonald before you guys?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I have no clue. I have no clue
Probably.
what bro was doing before Baltimore. So
I mean, he's what, 32?
yeah, he's is he that young?
He's pretty fucking young.
Is he that young? I thought
36.
I was. I thought he just looked like he seems like one of those guys that's like
he looks like he's 28.
Yeah, like he like might be pushing 40, but he looks like he's like late 20s type shit. All right, let's talk about this though. So we knew this was going to happen. We talked about it last episode.
He was your linebacker coach.
Cool.
From 2018 to 2020, then was Michigan's DC in 2021, and then you guys hired him as the DC.
So he just fucks with the hardballs.
But he's worked with y'all. Yeah, he's worked with y'all since 2014.
He just fucks with the hardballs. All right, cool. But
yeah, he's just been hardball dick sucked his way up the ladder.
Let's talk about we talked about this last episode. Travis Kelce's a douchebag.
Agreed.
Travis Kelce doubled down on his actions on his podcast with his brother.
Yeah.
And a big stupid idiot was just if you want to be a dick, we can play that game. We can do that. Yada yada. And it's like I don't know, bro. He just yapped. He just said a whole bunch of nothing. He just said a whole bunch of if this is how you wanna play, if you wanna be a dick, I can one up you and yada yada. And then Mahomes said that he said only 3 times in his career he's had a problem with kickers interfering, and it's always been in Baltimore, which is another comment that's like, okay, can we just say
Tucker said?
Huh?
Did you hear what Tucker said?
Tucker blew it off.
Sure, but he also said that he's been doing it for 12 years
Thank
and
you.
nothing has changed.
That's exactly, yeah, you took the words out of my mouth that I took out of his, because
Yeah.
he's been doing the same thing for 12 years. Nobody's had a problem with it. Not a single time has somebody had a problem with it until the Chiefs came into town in the AFC Championship game. Is that not a fucking
When
coincidence?
Travis Kelce is on his highest possible horse, I can't wait for him to get knocked down
The
17 picks because it's coming.
the highest horse.
I mean, do we remember about her former boyfriends? You remember Tom Hiddleston? All right. Well, Tom Hiddleston was Loki in the Avengers movies.
Okay.
He was in everything. He was on top of the world. And during that time, he was also the new potential James Bond
Okay.
when he was the most famous dude. And then now he's not spoken about.
Because did he dated Taylor Swift or what?
Yeah, another thing.
I have no. I didn't know about
Well,
any of that.
Travis Kelce will get his coming. He'll get his moment.
But I mean, here's the thing though. He could just win a Super Bowl and say "fuck y'all," and it doesn't matter what we say, and he doesn't get nothing come. Nothing. He doesn't have anything coming because what, he breaks up with his girlfriend. Who freaking who? He has another Super
Well,
Bowl ring.
she would break up with him. There's no fucking way he's letting this fucking thing
Bro, I'm
go.
not gonna lie. And at the way this last week, the way he was acting, making her look way worse. Like it's
Yeah.
like
No, for
I'm
sure.
saying in terms of like
Because you got to stand out here and support your piece of shit
if
boyfriend.
people are looking at you like it's the same. It's not the same, but it's kind of like how like you
Because
see
once her fans
hook
turn on
lay at
boyfriend,
the ground.
yeah,
Well, I already know you'll do it, so we don't have to go. Oh, come on, bro. Like, why? I didn't know.
it's not
What
gum.
anything I was saying. I forgot what I was saying. Like when Brittany Mahomes was doing her shit, it's like it made everybody kind of hate Mahomes,
Yeah.
and it's the same way. Like
This is more like when Travis is doing his shit. Now that she's gonna get turned on,
all,
which she can't really afford.
all the attention on Taylor made everybody hate Travis, but now Travis acting like a douchebag, and now everybody's looking at Taylor like you're dating this guy, like
This fucking
your
guy.
boyfriend's a dick. Like what is this? And at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes can
Messing with
go.
a dude you don't even play against.
Patrick Mahomes can go anywhere on the field and take a 3-step drop and throw a couple balls. Travis Kelce can go anywhere and catch a couple balls. If Tucker has to kick from
There's only 2 goalposts.
if Tucker has to kick in a certain spot, he has to kick in a certain spot. If that's his routine, if that's what he has to do, that's what he has to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, and I would like to believe that we gave Kansas City's kicker the same courtesy, the same whatever you want to call it. Like I feel like we probably, I mean,
Yeah, we didn't see a video of
Roquan Smith bullying
or
what's his
clowning
name.
bro his fucking shit.
So I don't know. Him doubling down on it though, I don't. I don't know. I don't. It makes me feel stupid for like I was defending Mahomes after that offside shit, the offensive offsides thing when he was
Sure.
complaining. I mean, if you don't remember, you were like, Mahomes is a bitch, fuck him, and I was
I
like,
was on full Mahomes a bit. I mean, because that's a courteous, like when you go to shake the quarterback's hand, it's like, hey, have a great year, like stay healthy, whatever. You do all that stuff. You don't fucking bitch about an offsides call because Josh Allen had been fucked over every single time by the fucking Chiefs and continues to get fucked over. And
either way, I think complaining about a call that yes, it was a penalty, but we all know
sure,
it
but
should have.
that's not his and Josh's
But
business.
I think that is less like I think bitching about a kicker makes you look way worse. It makes you look
Way worse.
way more like a dick than
I've
bitching.
watched football my entire life. I've never seen this happen.
Never seen that, and we've watched Justin Tucker for a long time. We've
12
never
years,
seen a tight end and a quarterback press him about his warm up routine. So yeah, shout out to
especially at home.
yeah, at home in the bank.
Like he's not in Kansas City right now trying to fucking take over space. He's at home.
But here's the thing: they're allowed to. That's what the special teams on both teams are allowed to do. Warm
But
up
you
on
know
both
what needs to
sides.
happen? scenario,
What?
someone's got to press those two fuckers
Who?
right then, because Tucker's not going to stand up for
Well,
himself.
what happened was I think I think that was part of how emotional we were going into that game.
Yeah,
Because I mean, let's be real,
the whole game was.
they were pissed, and we already talked about all the shit Kansas City got away with. But I mean, we were in their grill talking shit the entire game, and I think we our emotions fucked us up bad.
You,
Um,
I mean, again, defensively, you guys did well. It was
in
just,
the second half,
I know, but 17 points isn't the worst fucking thing possible.
yeah, but at the end of the day, it's I mean, sure, but they, I don't know. I look when you watch that game. I at the end of the game, I went, "Oh wow, that's cool that they didn't let them score in the second half." But when I was watching that game, when it counted, the Chiefs offensively got it done, so it didn't matter.
Sure, but
Why is scouting why is MVS wide open? Why is bro just? I mean, why do we got Arthur Millette running down, trying to guard him like or trying to cover him? What are
but
we
that
doing?
loss is full wholeheartedly on your offense.
Sure. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Travis Kelce's a dick. That's my
I mean, I really don't
that's
care
my end.
about.
Well, no, I mean it truly made me feel like a completely different way about him. Like I thought, like
Sure.
like it was kind of the same thing. Like, bro, we make fun of him and the Taylor Swift shit, but it's like, okay, he gets all these commercials. Why wouldn't you take money to do commercials, right? Could it be annoying to see? Because I'm not gonna lie, we talked about it. Like those commercials were funny. We laughed about the Andy Reid and the Mahomes and the shit that Travis Kelce did. Like,
Well, I like the Andy Reid commercials.
but there were times where I was laughing at commercials with them in it. But then it's like you just decide to wake up and be the biggest douchebag and then come out here like if you can you try to be it and to be like that butthurt like
Yeah.
what made you think Tucker like because you to say if you're gonna be a dick I can one up you. It's like, so Justin Tucker doing his same routine, because this isn't the first time you've played the Ravens and Justin Tucker being their kicker. This isn't the first time, and this is like nothing has changed, and now he's being a dick. I don't know. That's all I gotta say about that, bro.
It's stupid. It shouldn't be a thing. And yeah, I could give two fucks about the Kelseys.
So
I like Jason. Jason's cool.
every episode we're going to talk about some different positional or some different position groups for free agency. But Mike Evans is a free agent. And I got a notification today that it said like he's projected to get paid. If he went out and shopped, if he went out and looked at some teams, he could make 25 to 30 mil.
30.
Now, here's my thing. The first thought was like, all right, does he stay in Tampa or does he go and make a championship run? Here's the first thing. The championship run came to him. He got his ring. Obviously, I'm sure he would love another one, but he did get his ring. So I do see a scenario where it's like he built some life in Tampa or wherever he lives, and is like, I don't feel like moving to Baltimore, Owings Mills, and playing for the Ravens. It'd be cool, yeah, playing with Lamar, but I don't feel like going there. I'd rather just chill and just make some bread playing for the Bucks. We go 9-8. We go 9-8. Whatever.
Yeah.
I get 1,000 yards though, so you can't blame me. Like I could see that, but I
Yeah.
guess there is a world where, because I didn't think that was going to be the projection.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That would be a great move for him financially. Career wise, it's probably the death of his career. Like a Julio, like a Devontae Adams,
I don't.
like a bunch of guys who move teams late in their career.
I don't think any of. No, well, you can't say Devontae. Devontae's not. Devontae hasn't fallen off. Devontae hasn't fallen off. The Raiders just suck.
Devontae hasn't fallen off, but he's got
But
no.
I'm saying like Julio. I don't remember Julio like being prime Julio and then going to where did he go to first? Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah.
And like
He wasn't prime, but he was. I mean, Mike Evans isn't prime.
Mike Evans is racking up. I mean, he's still consecutively getting 1,000 yards.
No, but it's his 10th year in the league. Like it's
Yeah,
it's a
well, I
lot.
mean, can he not go get 1,000 yards in his 11th year? Is he just gonna suddenly fall off if he goes play? If he
No,
goes
he
and plays
could, but
with a better quarterback?
here's the thing. Well, if he's going to get money, he's not going anywhere with a better quarterback.
Who knows?
Quarterbacks are getting paid 60 mil now. They're not getting
Well, okay, what quarterbacks aren't what quarterbacks aren't paid yet that have good teams? He could go. He could
Hurts.
go play in Houston.
Houston for sure.
He could go play in Houston. And here's the thing: I'm saying this without knowing how.
Washington.
I don't know salary cap. I don't know how salary. Nope, not Washington. Um,
Dude, we're gonna get Caleb Williams. He says he doesn't want to play for the Bears.
but yeah, it's like I could see. But even if y'all get bro from like LSU, that might be some type of move. But I don't think he's going to Washington. But I'm saying it would probably have to be a team like Houston or somebody with a young quarterback with potential, but they're still on a rookie deal.
Yeah.
But with that being said, kind of relating to Mike Evans, there's three quarterbacks who are going to
Hurts.
be. There's three Yeah, Hurts got paid. There's three quarterbacks that are free agents this year, and I'm gonna ask you, do they get re-signed? Not do they go somewhere else? Where do they go? It's just simply, do they get re-signed to their team? Kirk Cousins is a free agent. Does he get re-signed to Minnesota? I think it's obvious.
You do.
He tore his ACL, and they immediately were Team Kirk. We're here for you. We got you. Like, we can't wait for you to get back. Like, we love you. And then, to go through what they went through without him and suck, it's like, we're bringing you back.
They also didn't even try to find like a permanent.
Yeah.
Like they went to Dobbs, and they went to Jalen Duren or whatever.
I mean, I think Jetta's every week was like I miss you. I can't wait for you to come back. Like, it was he couldn't. They can't wait for him to come back. I think it's obvious. You were thinking about it. Do you think? I mean, I don't know what type of move they're gonna make if they.
I mean, yeah. My thing is like, is he ideal for them? No. Is he probably their best option? Yeah. I mean, I don't see another team really wanting Kirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
There's a lot of backs in the draft right now.
And then we're talking money wise, like he's not gonna go somewhere else and get like some crazy.
No.
Compared to what he could get in Minnesota, I don't think it'd be that much different.
Yeah, I think it's really their only option. I think it's his only option. So it's a we're here type of deal.
Baker Mayfield.
Resigned.
Baker Mayfield re-signed?
I think it's a long-term contract. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield re-signed no matter what Mike Evans does?
Yeah.
Mike Evans leaves, there's no chance they start a whole no. Baker's getting a contract. I want him to. I think he is. I just wanted to know how you felt. And then
in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like Mike would stay. I don't. 30 million's cool, but you're gonna ruin a football team.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Like,
And then the last person, which I saw in an article, and I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't even think about this, but what do the Colts do with Minshew?
Back up.
I'm about to say, do they get like how Ravens did with Huntley, just give him a cool little like 2-year deal, just in case.
I mean, he's a great backup, but I mean, if they're the only reason that they would. Here's the thing. I think the Colts would want to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason he would leave if he felt like there was another team where he could start on. I don't know if that's a possibility. I don't think it is.
I think
with the amount of quarterbacks in the draft, with the amount of quarterbacks in the league right now who are coming back from their injuries, I really don't think there's a spot for him.
With how quick you can get replaced, how easily you can get shipped off, when it's like you prove to a team that you can at least, I mean, you were pushing for a playoff spot to the end of the year.
till the last
Yeah,
play of the game.
to the very literally. I mean, probably should have been in a playoff game that year. You 100%, no matter how much faith and trust you put into AR, you gotta throw some money to Gardner, just in case.
Yeah, because it's like even the Colts don't know how good AR could be. I mean, the Colts, yeah, I mean AR is still going to be injury prone. He'll still be listed as injury prone. Even in the 2 or 3 games he played, sure he showed a little bit. He didn't show anything crazy. So Gardner's the guy you know you can get you through a season and do it well enough.
Do the Texans do the Browns do that with Joe?
I think they'd be happy to have Joe.
I don't. For some reason, I feel like bro's not like. I don't know if he's
I just don't know if he'll continue to play.
like. I feel like. I mean, I thought years ago. I thought a couple years ago the same way I think now. Like it's like I don't think he cares. Like if the Browns are like, we want to bring him back, give him a call. Okay, but like I think after that loss, Joe went home and he's just been home ever since. Like he hasn't. He just wakes up, eats breakfast, lunch, dinner, back to sleep.
Take care. Yeah.
That's what Joe Flacco does. Like there's no way he's reaching out to Cleveland. Like, hey guys, like I don't think he cares. If Cleveland gives him a call, sure, or other teams, sure, yeah, I'll come play.
I mean, if I was Joe, you've either got a couple more years of getting paid millions, or you got a great way of going out of your career.
That too, yeah, you could go out. You could,
Because you're not going to be the starter. Deshaun will start.
yeah.
So, unless he gets arrested. But Deshaun will start. Joe would be the season long backup. And I don't know, if I was the Browns, it's like, yeah, it's not bad if something happens to Deshaun.
And if you don't want to
Better
play,
than PJ Walker.
if you don't want to play, you know what everybody will watch? A Joe Flacco podcast.
Oh,
If
fuck.
Joe Flacco just opened up
It'd be better than Big Ben's
for the
podcast.
first time. Oh, well, Big Ben was a little more expressive than well, compared to Joe, a lot more expressive than Joe, but like he has a good podcast. Like he'll be sitting there. Like my favorite clips when he's talking about Heath Miller, but he's just eating the sandwich. Like,
Yeah.
Patriots. Like he's just fucking up the
Yeah,
sandwich,
yeah.
talking like. But Joe,
Well, yeah,
Joe,
that's what
man.
he was like. He was like, yeah. Who was that against?
Yeah,
Patriots. Yeah.
yeah. So no, you do
Shocking.
something like that with Joe. Give Joe a podcast or something. Yeah, sure. And then he could just talk about like.
I mean, this is the peak of Joe's fame. It's the second peak.
Second peak of fame. Podcasts weren't a thing back then, so or weren't as popular back then.
Sure,
Social media itself wasn't as popular back then. He would be like it's weird because he would be successful in that type of like avenue because of his personality and how boring he is.
Yes.
Like because he's so boring.
Boring seems to be funny nowadays.
Because he's boring, doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't talk about anything. But then he seems like it's like if you got him to talk for an hour and a half, though, he probably, I mean, he spent long time in Baltimore. He's probably got a bunch of stories to tell and probably a bunch of untold stories about a lot of shit that went down. But with that being said,
but yeah, like boring shit. Like people like that fucking dumb Bobby girl or whatever. People like the boring stuff.
Yeah, like I think more people would watch I don't know. I think a lot of people would watch it. I think a lot of people would watch. I think. I mean,
I think. Yeah.
Let's be real. Any NFL ex NFL player can make a podcast, but the more of a name you have, the more of a draw you're going to have initially. Now, people could easily tune out and be like, "This is stupid," but
Ricard Mendenhall, does he deserve a podcast?
He's an idiot.
Does he deserve to be on the internet? Probably.
He was a guest on that podcast. I don't know.
No, but he doesn't deserve to be on the internet.
No, like him. Yeah, you need just
that tweet you fucking.
Yeah, no,
about the steal.
He's an idiot. What'd he say?
About the event and then the steal. It's a conspiracy theory.
What are you talking about?
his tweet about the numbered event.
I don't
It
know
was
what you're
about
talking about.
the date, the famous date in September.
9/11?
Yeah,
He was tweeting about 9/11?
yeah. You don't remember? You read his tweet?
What did he say about 9/11? I forgot. I remember him talking about the
He was
Pro Bowl, the white,
no,
yeah, the
he was believing the conspiracies he was hearing about 9/11.
what was he? What did he say?
Something like steel doesn't crack under that temperature or whatever.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
Look it up because
I
it's
don't
yeah.
remember that at all. But
You
no,
told me.
the only way you make that interesting if you put like him with like Arian Foster and like Chandler
Yeah,
Jones.
Chandler Jones was just on.
It's just three idiots, just like
Chandler was just on Rampage Jackson's podcast.
that's two idiots talking to each
Yeah,
other. Rampage
yeah.
Jackson is an
He
idiot.
seems cool though.
No,
He's fun.
no, but he says some stupid ass shit.
Agreed, but it's funny.
Yeah,
He's pretty chill.
I don't know. He seems like he's
I've gotten the UFC a lot more recently, so I'm
okay.
over
But
the
here's the
past.
thing: like I didn't know how like cracked Chandler Jones was, like
Yeah,
how out there he was. Wouldn't be surprised if Rampage was like maybe not that far, but like he's not that far away from being that far. If you know what
sure.
I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know how far he is
he
away.
fought his son.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, and then
His
just
son
talking
tried
about
to
it.
like.
Yeah,
He
I'll
was like,
beat the
"Yeah."
shit out of my kid.
He's like, "I beat the shit out of my kid."
Like, whoa.
And then his son was on the podcast, and he was like, "You want to tell him why we fought?" He's like, "No, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to bring that up." It's like, all right, this is just weird.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing. He'll be like, "Yeah, I beat my kid up. Man, my kid, he gets no ass, by the way, if you're wondering." Like,
yeah,
he'll,
yeah.
he'll just, I don't
Still
know.
a
It's fun. I mean, it's funny, but I don't know. A bunch of conspiracy theorists on a podcast, maybe you can make that interesting. But give Joe Flacco a microphone, him a camera and a microphone. There you go.
No, he can't sit by himself. He needs a catalyst. He's a boring guy.
Okay, dream co-host.
Right. Who was the guy who got arrested for cocaine on the Ravens a couple years ago?
Oh, who got arrested for coke on the Ravens?
Somebody.
I don't remember.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Someone on the Ravens got arrested for coke. Why do I not remember that?
He was
Johnny
a DB.
Manziel a Raven? A DB
He was a DB.
got caught with, you're gonna say the name and I don't know. That's
Apparently Jamal Lewis was.
I think every running back that ran for 2,000 yards was on coke.
Well, I'm not going to bring up that name.
Every who?
Matt Elam.
Matt Elam.
I think that's who it was. Matt Elam was arrested.
Did Matt Elam get caught with coke?
Yeah, he got caught.
Did Matt Elam get caught with coke?
I think he did.
The Matt Elam. Oh man, I love Matt Elam, dog. Oh man, I love Matt Elam. Oh, did Matt Elam get? Matt Elam got caught with coke, didn't he?
He said he was facing marijuana and drug charges.
I remember. I feel like I remember weed, but did he get caught with? Damn.
I feel like there was somebody else too, but I don't know. Well, there was that one guy who.
Tell me OJ didn't do coke in '72 when he ran for 2,000.
Of course he did.
All right, Devin. So let's talk about this. So I was watching.
What was I talking about?
We were talking about Ravens and getting caught with drugs. So let's talk about. I was watching.
Well, who could? Never mind. Fuck Joe.
Yeah, no, I was watching. You said Ray Rice, perfect. I was, I was watching the Sixers and the Warriors play, and I saw this report or an article or something, and they said that Golden State said everybody but Steph is on the table. They said they'd like to keep Kuminga for the future.
Yep.
But they're taking calls for Andrew, taking calls for CP3,
Clay,
and they're taking calls for Clay.
I don't think anyone's calling about Draymond.
Nobody's taking calls for Draymond Green. Name one Draymond Green highlight. One bucket. Give me one bucket you remember Draymond Green having.
When he shot a three like this.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember a sin. I was sitting. It's crazy. I was just sitting. This is how much of a hater I am. I was just sitting. Like I think at a restaurant, just like I've never seen a Draymond Green highlight tape, just like a normal highlight tape. Like every player has a highlight tape. I've seen it recommended. I've always seen it. I've seen compilations. I've seen like Draymond Green dirtiest play compilation, funniest
Yeah.
moment compilation. This and that. I've never seen Draymond Green career highlight tape. I'm sure there's one out there or two. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. But what's up?
I would say it's got 200 views.
But yeah, no, I Draymond Green. I don't think anybody's making calls for him. But yeah, take all the calls. Chris Paul, Gary Payton Jr., Wiggins, Clay. Take calls for everybody but Steph. And it's funny. I mean, what is it? It's the well, it's almost deadline's gonna hit. Next episode would be the last episode before the deadline.
Yeah.
So next Saturday's episode, there might be a lot of big changes in the NBA.
Draymond Green, best regular season and playoff moments, 188,000 views.
Nice.
I think there's only one of those videos.
Nice. You didn't have to bring reality into this. Obviously, it has a highlight tape.
I felt like it. I mean, I was wondering if he had one.
That's why I mean, he definitely has a highlight tape. But I'm just saying, I agree with you. I don't think many teams are taking calls for Draymond Green, or many teams are making calls for Draymond Green.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I like the keep. I mean, they said they'd like to keep Kuminga for the future, so that's basically they're basically saying if you give us a good enough deal, like we'll happily ship him off. But if we can, we'd. Like
I think it would be interesting to see the pieces that they could put on that Warriors team. See who else could play with Steph. I mean, I think Steph can play with anybody.
And you're saying put everybody on the table but Steph.
Yeah,
every single player.
Sure.
Okay, I like it. And then cut Draymond when the deadline hits and he doesn't get traded?
I mean, he'll be cut.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I think Draymond will probably not get picked up by another team.
He's the luckiest player.
He will probably retire. Like, so it's on his own terms. He's not getting cut. He's retiring. And then he'll probably take a job with the Warriors.
No.
Or ESPN.
He's not taking a job with the Warriors. But I definitely think, I mean, he's the luckiest player alive. Luckiest player to ever play in the NBA.
There was one guy who won. I mean, Sean Livingston was pretty lucky.
No, I mean, with the bullshit he was allowed to get away with.
Oh, sure.
And the
fact
that,
anyone who kicks people in the nuts.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, yeah, if you're Michael Jordan, of course you're going to get away with punching Steve Kerr in the face.
Well, as he should. I mean,
it's like then we're stooping down to like, okay, now it's like if you're Draymond Green, you're allowed to punch somebody in the face. So anybody above Draymond Green, if they punch a teammate in the face, they better not get cut. They better, and that person they punched, I don't care if it's fucking Luka that got punched in the face. He's out. Send him to DC. He's gone.
Luka's the best player right now.
Huh?
Luka's the best player in the league right now.
Okay, can we talk about it?
And Embiid is just about eliminated from MVP contention, and Sixers are fucked.
So that's what I want to talk about. MVP candidates. So it's basically there's six. There's 6 guys in the race.
And there's 2.
There's 6.
There's not.
There's 6. When you look it up, there's 6.
Yes, in the ways.
Okay, but you said Luka's the best player.
Tatum's in there.
You said Luka's the best player in the league right now, but he's when you go to the odds, he's 5 or 6. He's 5th or 6th.
No, I'm aware because the MVP fucking voting is fucked.
Okay, so Joel Embiid, you said, do you want to bring up the the new rule? I mean, I don't know exactly what the rule is. It's what?
Well, so you have to play 65 games.
Okay.
And you have to, I think, have 20 or more minutes in those 65 games.
Do you know what Joel's at? Like,
Joel's pretty close to missing it. I'm almost certain that he's gonna.
And he's hurt. He's hurt right now.
Yeah, and the Sixers, like, fucked that whole situation by making him play through it. He's got to fucked up meniscus right now. Um, and the Sixers just got fined a shit ton of money for not
Ah, I'm
reporting. So it's a Burrow type of situation. They didn't report the
I'm
injury.
not gonna lie. Is that rule kind of hurting the MVP race?
I mean, there's ways that it could and there's ways that it couldn't. So like in the case of like a Kawhi Leonard, where he's just sitting games, or in the case of like, hey, maybe you were the best player this year, but you missed 18 games, and now you got to fight through injury to make that thing.
But okay,
But at
imagine.
the same, like, if you get injured, take your injury and fuck off.
But imagine the next 5 years, the person that wins MVP won it for one of these two reasons: because the actual MVP didn't play enough the minimum game amount, or they won because because let's say one or multiple other people in the race played through injuries trying to meet the minimum amount, and now they're hurt going to the postseason or something, and that's going to affect the NBA. That's going to affect the NBA worse than making them play more regular season games when you're gonna have the Sixers in the playoffs without Joel. What are we talking about?
But here's my thing. I think this shows like how much players or teams care about the MVP award over a championship.
But
Because does an NBA MVP deserve an MVP if they haven't played 65 games?
but is I mean
And why are you pressed about the 65 game thing if your guy's actually hurt?
well, that's because if you played 63 games and you were the clear MVP and your team sucked all the time, any game you were hurt and sat out for, that should be even more of a narrative and a reason why you should win MVP. There shouldn't be a rule that is taking that away from your odds of winning MVP. And also,
I think this is the beginning of a change in the NBA where it's like,
but
I mean, they've been trying to do this for a while, for the past couple of years, to have guys not sit out as much.
but that's for the views.
But
That's because
MVP
they
should
want
be
people
a
to
guy who
watch.
played 80
But that's
games.
because they want people to they want they want the draw. They want their stars to play regular season games so people will watch.
Exactly.
But but that's but why that does, I don't think that has anything to do with the MVP, the actual MVP. I think that has
No,
more to
but
do with making
if
players
but here's
play.
the thing:
But
if
why
a
care about why try to find out how much people or teams care about the MVP if it's gonna cost injury like I mean, why put pressure and emphasis on an MVP and this new rule if you don't want teams
because
to
I think
care?
years down the road the NBA will be forced to change in the fact that a guy can't play 50 games and win MVP.
But in your mind, you're saying that if Joel doesn't make the cut, it's obviously going to be Jokic. Is that fair? Is that
I
right?
don't
I mean,
think
is that?
them to be MVP.
Well, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you about some other guys, but now you got me thinking. Like this new rule, I think it hurts. I think it affects the NBA. I don't think it's. I came into this
No,
thinking like,
I think this helps the NBA. I think this gets rid of this bullshit with these big men,
why
and
though?
I would like to see that. I would
If
like
the
to see them.
NBA truly if the voters truly believe those players are the MVP of the league, regardless of how many games they played and how bad their team did without them while recovering from said injury, that should make them. I mean, that it shouldn't matter. Like they should win MVP. I'm not saying I think the battle of these two big men should be the race for the MVP this year. But if it is going to be the race, I don't think it should dwindle down to. It can dwindle down to who played more games, but it also has to dwindle down to how worse the team was, with them with compared to with them versus without them for Joel and Jokic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that I don't know. You think the rule helps? I think it hurts. Let's talk about some other players though. So Joel, we're gonna put to the side for now because of this injury. Not really talk about him. Jokic. I mean, look, he's putting up 26, 9, and 12, shooting 59%. But can am I is now I keep saying this, but am I wrong when I say the NBA MVP is strictly narrative driven? Because let's look at someone like Giannis, who's putting up 31, 6, and 11.7, shooting 61%. He's putting up similar numbers as his back to back MVPs with Dame. With Dame. With Dame
Yeah.
on that team, he's still putting up similar numbers to his back to back MVP seasons.
Yeah. The NBA is narrative driven, but it's the wrong narrative.
How is that not? But it's like, if, but the narratives, they like to pick and choose narratives.
Exactly. They're
They're
choosing of the two big men battle.
they're looking at like, oh, but look at how versatile Jokic is at his, look at how he's built, look what he can do. But look at, I mean, I don't know. You look at someone like Giannis who has back to back MVPs who, let's be real, they were pushing that same narrative when he won. It was look at his size and look what he can do. He was also a defensive machine, but
Sure.
I, I don't know. Someone like Giannis who's putting up 31, 6, 11.7, or almost 12 rebounds, shooting 61%. And mind you, okay, so like when you compare so Joel and Jokic, Joel's 36, 6, 11.5. Jokic is 26, 9, and 12. Joel's shooting 54, Jokic is shooting 59. Joel
Jokic 26.
26.
There's no fucking way he should even be considered.
Okay. But then when you look at Joel, he shoots field goal attempts and free throw attempts combined 34. He averages 34 and a half. 22 field goals a game, about 12 free throws a game. That's 9.5 more than the second most, which is Maxey. Then you got Jokic, who averages 23 and a half field goal plus free throw attempts, 17 and a half and 6, which I think,
Sure.
I mean, it's a lot lower than Joel's. And
Sure, but
to also put
Jokic
up 9 and
has
12.
a better team around him.
You said what?
Jokic has a better team around him. You can average 26 points a game and you're what? The reigning fucking champions of the world?
Does he have a better team?
Yeah.
Does he?
I mean, pretty good.
I
But
think
that's about
they match up.
in a 7-game series, the Nuggets are smoking them.
7-game series going to 7.
5.
6. Okay. Okay, what about someone like Shy? First of all, go ahead and take a look at the Thunder's record. It's stupid.
I know. No, I know.
He's putting up 31, 6.5, 5.5, shooting 55%. 29 field goal and free throw attempts combined, 20 and 9. They have pieces, but he is carrying.
Agreed.
He is carrying this team. And
Agreed.
he's not Josh Giddey. That's the best narrative in the NBA. Is you are on that team and that's not your name.
See, but I think
there you go.
Last thing that the NBA wants is more focus on this Thunder team.
I don't think so because they're still letting bro play.
Yeah, but they also said we're taking a back seat to the investment.
Yeah.
Because we don't care.
Yeah, Josh. I think.
What
Yeah, Josh
Giddey.
Giddey.
Because we're going to hand out suspensions for throwing basketballs and for yelling at refs, but this guy's fine.
Look, I just think Shy. I mean, look, bro is carrying this Thunder squad, winning games. I don't know how someone like him and Giannis should be considered as much as the two big men that are running the league.
But I think the guy who should be considered the most and should be the clear-cut MVP is Luka Doncic.
Okay, Luka, 34.7, 9.5, 8.5, shooting 49%.
Well, he's not a big man.
He's big for his position.
He's 6'7".
For his position.
Is he even he's a point shooter?
Yeah, he's bringing that ball down. But look, he's shooting 49%, 31.5 field goal attempts and free throw attempts combined. To me, the biggest thing is so Kyrie has been dealing with he hasn't been playing. So if these numbers stay the same and continue to stay the same, regardless of how much Kyrie plays.
I think Luka's numbers could get better if Kyrie doesn't play.
But no, I'm saying like if he carries Dallas to the playoffs and Kyrie has some lingering injuries and whatever, and he's putting up these numbers, that's a great narrative. If Kyrie comes back and he's still putting up these numbers, that's another great narrative.
Yeah.
But obviously, if Kyrie isn't on the court and numbers fall off, then okay, it doesn't matter. If Kyrie comes back, numbers fall off, and Dallas continues to win, the focus is going to be shifted on that duo and not how valuable just Luka is.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest thing is how much is Kyrie playing?
Sure.
And look, I gassed him up, but Tatum shouldn't be in the race.
Yeah.
If Tatum was playing exceptionally, just way better than, compared to the big three in Boston, and was just absolutely carrying a teammate who's a max player, Kristaps over here putting up 20. Okay, we can talk about it. But 27, 4.5, 8.5. You got Luka, Shai, and Giannis in front of you.
Yeah.
There's really no question. So I see why he's slacking in the race. I still think he's one of the best players in the league.
Sure.
But in the MVP category and what we consider an MVP nowadays and what makes you qualify as an MVP, the numbers aren't. I mean, the numbers are cool, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not beating a lot of these other guys.
But you've also got
a great team.
You've got the best team out of any of these guys who are running.
Like I said, if he was playing,
if he's
just playing just outstandingly better than both of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the fact that how well that big three is playing right now. It's like that.
Which if I'm Tatum, I'm not worried about the MVP.
No, I'm not.
I'm trying to turn this. If I'm Giannis, if I'm Tatum, I'm not worried about it. Shai, Luka, worry about the MVP. Your team's going to suck. You're not going to do anything in the playoffs. Whatever.
But if Joel,
you might make the playoffs.
So what?
Joel,
what do you think the goal for that? What do you think the goal for that rule was, though? For teams to not care about the MVP? Because it seems like what you made it sound like you want the NBA to test the teams and see, like.
No, I'm not saying I want that. What I'm saying, it's a test of are you going to fight through injury for your MVP award, for an award, or are you going to trust the process, recover, and play more games?
Let's say Tatum's putting up the best numbers in the league. He's putting up Joel Embiid numbers, and he and Jaylen Brown and Kristaps are still balling, and he goes down and sits out, doesn't play the 65 games. We'll look at that as okay. Well, and then he comes back and plays in the playoffs. We'll look at that as okay. He has a team around him. They were still able to get a playoff spot. They're good. He got his rest. Now he's back. That's if he doesn't play.
Yeah.
If he plays, it's why would you play? You must be playing to get an MVP award. You have a good team around you. They could possibly get a playoff spot, even if you take these next 3 weeks off or whatever. So why for Joel? Why I don't know. For Joel, I think if he has to play through his injury if he wants the Sixers to win.
Yeah.
And it's Tatum can take a day off.
Yeah. But here's the thing. there have been 5 NBA MVPs who have not played 65 games. So I'm not sure if it's that much of a factor.
Well, I guess we'll find out. But I mean, the
Because
fact
the
that
only guys who do it were Karl Malone. He played 49 games. Bill Walton played 58. When LeBron won in 2011, 2012, he played 62. When Giannis won in 2019, 2020, he played 63.
I mean, it's just odd that I don't know. I think it makes the rule look pretty bad when the number one dog in this race is getting affected by the rule the most.
Yeah, to me, that's on Embiid. That's on the Sixers.
But it's like, but here's the but okay. Let me just say this: I don't think Embiid playing through whatever injury he has is see look he's trying to get an MVP. It's they need him. I
Well,
don't
yeah.
know if that is just
Tyrese Maxey did just drop 51 points.
yes he did, but I don't know if it's 100% proof. Like there, he's only playing for personal accolades. He only wants
No,
to, I don't know if that's it.
but I don't know. It's weird. I don't think Joel should be the MVP, and I don't think Jokic should be the MVP.
All right. Well, we talked Dan Quinn, Commanders head coach, Mike Macdonald, Seattle head coach, Zach Orr, defensive coordinator, Travis Kelce being a douchebag. What quarterback should get re-signed? What is Mike Evans going to do? We talked Patrick Queen. We talked Golden State serving everybody up on the table but Steph Curry, and we talked about some MVP candidates. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Yes.
Oh,
The
I'm sorry.
Orioles.
I forgot. I
No,
forgot
you're
all
good.
about that. I forgot all about
I
that.
forgot about it until right
Go
now.
ahead.
Podcast went quick. I think we forgot something. The Orioles
Uh,
sold.
sold.
Yeah.
Yes.
It hasn't been approved yet. It gets approved this week,
I
but it
thought
will
it
be
did it
approved.
not. I thought I
Not
got
yet.
another alert. Maybe it's just a different alert. But okay, go ahead.
No, it'll be approved. We were owned by the Angelos family since 1993, but we just sold to the Carlyle Group, run by a Rubenstein. Don't remember his first name. And Cal Ripken's a part of that group as well. So good to hear, good to see. And then 2 days after we sold, we signed one of the top pitchers in baseball, Corbin Burns.
So like, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how impactful either of those moves are.
They're massive. Well, the thing with the Angelos family is that they never paid. They never paid their players. We've never paid any players to stay. We've had great pieces,
Mm-hmm.
especially over the past 10 years. We haven't paid a soul. Right now, we have the best prospects maybe we've ever had, and they need to be paid. So this is the perfect time to do this. We just went out and gave up a good prospect, a good shortstop, because we've got like 3 or 4 shortstops, so we don't need another one. We got rid of one that we don't need, and we got rid of a reliever and a draft pick. So for a starter, which is what we needed.
What's bigger, the player or the owner change move?
The owner change and the player change is great.
Which one do you, I mean? Which one is bigger? Which one is more? Do you think is more impactful?
The owner change, if they continue to do things that they did with this
Okay, because
trade.
I didn't know how impactful. Like I didn't know if it was like yeah we sold whatever like we sold they sold.
No, it's massive. Like Manny Machado left because we weren't going to pay him.
Mm-hmm. So if
Uh,
these if these people were the owners, then there's a scenario where he's still an Oriole.
Could have been,
Or
but I mean,
could have
we
been
also
at one
chose to
point.
pay Chris Davis,
Okay.
which turned out to be the worst
Wait,
deal.
did he get paid after like his roid shit or what? Or did was he?
Well, he got caught for Adderall.
That was it.
Yeah,
That's it.
but he was on roids for
He was.
sure.
I was gonna say what?
He's
Okay,
a big
I
dude.
thought he was juiced at one point. Okay,
But
okay.
no, right when they took away his Adderall, he was the worst
He
hitter
was done.
possible.
He was
Because he
done.
used to be just I either hit a home run or I strike out. Then he just started missing every fucking baseball. But we're still paying him.
Mm.
We'll pay him for until 2037, I think. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
maybe longer. Yeah.
Well, we talked about everything we talked about and some Baltimore Orioles shit. Is there
Chris Davis is the third highest paid player on our team.
right now? That is sick. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
Stay classy, San Diego.
Nice. We'll talk some Jim Harbaugh next episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Brand new episodes every Saturday and Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday to talk more NFL topics, more NBA topics, maybe some off the record topics, whatever comes our way. I guess what super. I guess we won't be predicting the Super Bowl until the following episode.
Following episode.
Following episode of the following episode. So yeah. With that being said, it has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.
Suck it.